प्यार तो नहीं है, सिर्फ सामान है, तो सामान से ही प्यार करते हैं और क्या.
Sometimes even make me fall in love with my co-actor. I mean, as bad as that, but I don't do that anymore. When I was doing Pari with the same production company.
Hello.
Hi,
Hello.
hi.
How are you both?
We are good. How are you today, Ananya?
Good.
I'm also good. How are you spending your lockdown?
We are kind of at the end of it, so yeah, and we're really hoping that this really remains the end of it because we can't really take it anymore.
True. Hopefully, let's just hope that it's the end of it.
Yeah, true.
So I'll talk about this film. It has been creating lot of noise, and the trailer is not out yet, but people are excited and people want to know what your roles are. So I'll start with that only. If you could shed some light on your characters.
For a change, I'll go first. It's usually the other way around, but I think I'll just take the in this case.
It works for us.
Have you seen the film?
No, not yet.
Okay, good. So then I'll know. Yeah. Okay. So which road to take? Yeah. So Bulbul is a very unique film in terms of the space, in terms of the zone that it belongs to, because I personally have known about the script for the last 2 years when I was doing Pari with the same production company, which was also co-written by Anvita, the director of Bulbul.
Yeah.
He had shared this particular idea with me, and it belongs to a space which is it is a supernatural thriller, as we all are calling it, but it has a lot of other elements and other ingredients which make it a very unique watch, and those elements being passion, love, longing, and most importantly, centuries old folklore which is being given a very interesting spin. And although the story is set in 19th century Bengal, it actually talks about issues which are still faced day in, day out by women all over the world, and especially in our country, unfortunately. So, and in this setup, the 5 main characters, we played different, we kind of represent different sensibilities, all of us, 5 of us together, taken together. And my character, Dr. Sudeep, I think he is the sort of the Renaissance man, you know. He is, this is Bengal, 1880s Bengal, right? So the Renaissance has already taken place in Calcutta, modernization, and the thought process has been modernized, has been enlightened. The Widow Remarriage Act has been passed. Raja Ram Mohan Roy is there. Vidyasagar has been there. It's Tagore who is writing right now there, right at that point in time. Michael Madhusudan Datta is writing. So it's an age of ferment, and old ideas are being thrown away. New ideas are emerging. But at the same time, in the villages, not really far away from Calcutta, darkness still looms large. Those really archaic patriarchal ideas still operate, and there Dr. Sudeep comes in as sort of this very plain man, otherwise very plainly dressed man, not even half as fancily dressed as Pauli or Tripti or Avinash. They are, but he is actually a harbinger of light. He believes that while serving people as a doctor, he can actually also serve towards changing their mindsets. But at the same time, he's also wise enough to understand that there can be certain domains, certain areas of existence which might be beyond science, which might be more than what is dreamt of in your philosophy, Horatio, as they say, as good old Shakespeare says. So that is how Sudeep comes in, and he is probably the only antithesis to this kind of strange little world of Bulbul's family. He is the outsider there, who stands for enlightenment, for emancipation, for equality, but at the same time, he also understands the realities and realizes that these things can't be changed overnight. So he has to take it slow. He has to play it gradually. Yeah.
Wow, that sounds interesting. Pauli, what about your character?
I think Poram has already touched upon the zone of the film, and so my character, I'll straight go to it. So yeah, like which Paolo mentioned, like unlike of Pauli or Tripti, that the way we used to dress up because it's a period piece. But there's another reason for Vinodini to dress up, because she only, like, I think that was the only thing left in her life. She just held on to it, because when I first read the script, I found her to be little weird, little mean. I didn't know how to approach the character, and I was just also like struggling within myself, like, because the film, it's of course it's a supernatural thriller, is this and that, whatever we are talking about, it's a period drama, it's love story, it's intense drama. So apart from that, it also like focuses on the issues of the how women have been victimized during that. So she was actually a victim of the misogynistic society that existed at that point of time, and she couldn't come out of it, unfortunately. And she is the most tragic character in the film. In the entire film, she is the most tragic, I feel, because it's as if like a bud who never got an opportunity to bloom, like because of one thing, like the perceptions, the small, like how you get seasoned to the social norms. She also got seasoned to the social norms that existed then, because she had no other choice, because she always felt like she was not the badi bahu of the Haveli. So that title also makes a lot of difference, which probably somebody had told her that, and that's why she believed in it. She kept on believing in it, that I am not the badi bahu of the Haveli, so I don't have the power to change anything. How sad. I feel like she was just like pushed to a certain zone, and she could never come out of it. Inside her, something she longs for. I felt like she seeks for love, she seeks for some care, she seeks for some good words, and somebody to be there as a next to her. Like, she never found something like that, and her only that came into focus was she only clung to those as a kid, how we do, like shiny things, the resham, the jewelry, the saris. That's why at times she used to dress up more than which was required. So that probably is a camouflage, I felt like, because somewhere deep inside she had locked up her desires, her emotions, her inner desires, not the earthly desires. Earthly desires, anyway, she's getting, she's a bahu of the zamindar family, and that's why she just thought like, अभी प्यार तो नहीं है, सिर्फ सामान है, तो सामान से ही प्यार करते और क्या. So it was very, I found her very sad, and this was the first time I was attempting to play a victim. Usually the characters which I have played, they are very strong, they stand for their own rights, because that's what I believe too. So this was first time I was attempting to play a victim, and I knew that. So it was a constant struggle inside me, conflict. Like, कैसे हो सकती है ऐसे? अरे इसको लड़ना चाहिए, इसको कुछ कहना चाहिए. But there are so many women around the world, like especially, of course, I would say in India, because they suffer, they're subjected, they become the victims of the society. So that Vinodini represents that section of women, who have been victimized.
Wow, that was nicely explained. But the way you guys talked about your character, I think you get into the character and you feel every emotion, both of you. So, would you say, is it easy for you both to get out of these characters? Like, do you move on from these characters, or you take away a part of it and keep it with you?
Ananya, I think it's certain characters do have their hangover, which sort of stays with you and resonates with you. I mean, the resonance of most important characters are there for a long time coming. I mean, not all the work that we get to do is of our liking, right? There are some few things which also midway you realize this is not really the way, this is not really shaping up the way I thought it would be. So those are not the roles that you carry forward with you. But yes, there are films, there are series, there are roles which you portray, which stay with you, and there are very big takeaways from such parts. And definitely, I can vouch for Pauli here as well, that and for myself, of course, that Bulbul is a film which had a lot of takeaways for us, for both of us, and But at the same time, we are actors, we're professional actors. So when I was young, when I had just started out doing something very intense, very, very emotional, would sometimes even make me fall in love with my co-actor. I mean, as bad as that. But you don't do that anymore. You don't do that anymore when you grow up and when you become a professional. So of course you move on. You move on. In some cases you move on the next hour. In some cases you move on the next day. That's all that is matters.
What about you, Pauli?
Yeah, there's some characters, very rightly said, how Pauram have put it, there's some characters which stays with you, which you love to carry with you, and some characters you don't. And of course, Bulbul is one film where Vinodini, I just love her. There are a lot of reasons to love her. One silly thing is that I missed talking about it. It's one of my favorite characters, which was written by Rabindranath Tagore in Chokher Badi. So that name has something. I have whenever I hear that name, it's I don't know. I have some kind of a feeling, and that fond feeling.
Saying this.
Yeah, I missed out. Yeah, so
she's that passionate about
it. Yeah, exactly. We are passionate. We are artists, so we are passionate about what we do, and there are Vinodini is a character which I would love to keep it with me, and I don't let go I would. It would sound a little weird, but in a happy space, not like I'm struggling with those characters, kind of. So in a happy space, they are there, and at time I revisit, and because the beautiful memories that you have during the shoot. So that's again, I do about Vinodini. I can definitely say that.
This is the first time I've talked to so many people, so many celebrities, and this is the first time I'm feeling actually happy because you both, I can feel that passion when you played that character. I can feel that's so good. So I'm really excited to see you both on screen.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Because this is a suspense thriller and a touch of horror for a few audience. And it is said that this is one of the most difficult genres to be a part of. So what would you say was the most demanding part as an actor for you?
I don't think you keep in mind the genre while you're acting, because you're acting as a character. Of course, you do keep in mind what the genre does is basically the genre dictates the layout of the scenes. And if you just follow the layout of the scenes, you are there usually. But then at times, you are, especially in a thriller, especially in a supernatural thriller, or even generally in a thriller, you have that additional task as the actor to give out a little bit of hint, but then again contain more. Then again, hold back more. And they come as additional tasks, actually. So that really varies from scene to scene, and we have to keep changing the degrees, our degrees, to kind of adjust to that, how much to reveal and how much not to. And in such cases, we are usually guided by our directors. And in this case, I think Anvita, because she had created Bulbul with a lot of love and care for a very long time. She had lived with Bulbul for quite some time or two. She was absolutely sure to the T about what she wanted to do and how she wanted every single character to be like, every single movement to be like, how she wanted every single wall color of a room to be like. Because when from the start of the workshops, we knew that what is the headspace of this particular person. And as an actor, when you read a script, you tend to develop certain impressions of characters. And it is very important that while paying respect to that, it is also sort of broken in a way, and the director's perspective also comes in, and there's a proper blending that happens. And we were very ably guided by Anvita, the director, as well as Atul Mongia, our workshop coach, who had the good fortune of working with before as well on Pari. So that's how sure she was. So she kind of used to always tell us that this is where the string needs to be really high strung. This is where it needs to loosen it, relax it a little bit, and that's how it would go.
And for you, Pauli, what would you say was the most demanding part?
Uh, demanding because it was when you want the answer demand. Why you're saying demanding? Because it's the thriller.
The genre that
Okay. So now see, certain we are used to seeing certain genres in certain pace. Okay. Also, it depends on the narrative of the film. Okay. But it's not always according to the genre or according to the pace you act. It's according to the demand of a scene. Okay. So if it's a action-oriented scene, of course the pace will be high. If it's a emotional scene, of course the pace will be different. So you need to be ready, to get into that mode, and that's what is challenging for an actor, I would say, and that is what I also like. Otherwise, it becomes too monotony. In every scene, you're crying and you're sitting and you are doing nothing. So that's the interesting part of this particular film. I would say the script is so gripping. Like there's a graph, it's never flat. So it goes up and down and at times flat. So it's a beautiful space to film in. So the way I enjoyed, I think audience will also enjoy when it comes out on 24th and they are able to watch it. So yeah, that's what I feel. Just give your any artist look at and giving their best, making it more authentic. That is what we look at. Otherwise, we don't think about so much ye pace to gir gaya, ye ho gaya. So that fine tuning is done it's controlled by the director. But overall, what you have to do with your character and how it should travel, how it should speak, what should be the body language, and in which speed the character should go around. So that overall you can have, but mostly it is controlled by the director. Yeah.
Okay, so I have last two questions for you. First one is for you, Param. As a director, you have been directing films as well. Had you had any clashes? Like, okay, I wanted to have done some particular shot in another way, and maybe Anvita is doing it another way. So, did that happen, and did any discussions happen between you two?
Yeah, quite a lot actually. Discussion, yes, quite a lot. But one thing I have to say that I have, especially I've been doing films for quite some time now. I've done quite a few films, both Pauli and me. We have done several films together, and Pauli, I myself have done several films myself in the last 19 years, and I've worked with different kinds of directors. And since the time that I have started directing myself, it does happen now and then that when you see that things are not really going the way they should, or the way you have envisioned them, you do feel like stepping in and sort of taking the charge. In most cases, we have to contain that. We have to restrain ourselves and not letting that zeal get the better of us. But in some cases, you actually have to do that, because in some cases you have to go and at least take charge of the daily progress. Otherwise, the shoot won't get over. The shoot won't be finished. I mean, the basic footage won't be achieved. It happens sometimes. There have been times. And incidentally, while I was shooting for Bulbul, I was also shooting for another Bengali film, which was also being directed by a first-time filmmaker and also a woman filmmaker. And there, I kind of had to do a bit of that. I have to kind of, take charge of the set now and then, because otherwise nothing was just moving ahead. And on the other side, I was going to the set of Bulbul, where Anvita was in charge, and she was so much in charge. She was so sure of what she was doing that I remember I just taking her aside one day. We were shooting for the climax, and I told her that, Anvita, seriously, we are coming to the end of the shoot, and I have to tell you that I am so in respect and admiration of you. I mean, I've known you for some time now, about 2.5 years. But seriously, you're so sure, you're so on top of the job. It's almost enviable, really. Yeah. So I don't think in this case I ever had to do that. Neither do I think that anybody else who's a director. For instance, I don't think that anybody in my place or in Rahul's place who also happens to direct would feel any way different.
Okay, so lastly, because this film is releasing on an OTT platform, what would you say as an actor? Like, a lot of films have been releasing on OTT. So as an actor, is it a boom? Like, how different is it? like working on a film that's like, I don't think it's a lot different, but there is some big difference, major difference that you find as actors working on a film that's releasing on an OTT platform. Plus, also there are a lot of regional films that have a different kind of workspace. So, how is it all for you, Pauli?
Okay. Okay.
The
So
question is to both of
see,
you.
yeah. Okay. So it's not the platform which makes any difference for the artist. Okay. For any film or the way, the genuinity, that seriousness that like comes from an actor while portraying a character, and with the intensity which you do it, it is same for any platform you're working in, be it theater. I think even in theaters, people who act like with the same intensity and same seriousness they approach a character. So I technically, that is from an artist point of view, there is no difference. But when you just mentioned like a film releasing on OTT platforms, so this is something of first time experience for me. So this is the first time a film of mine releasing on OTT platform. So I'm yet to go through that experience to be able to tell you what is there. But yeah, there are two sides to it. Like, I have been used to like films releasing in theaters, and when you go for hall visits, when you see the kind of excitement directly, there's a direct or like connect with the audience. You can see their excitement in front of you, and they're so thrilled. So that's a different high altogether. But here also at the same time, I would say like platform like Netflix, which will take our film, which will take a story of Bengal or a story of India to 190 countries, and so many people across like borders in like regardless of language, they will get to know the story of us, our story. And that's again a different kind of excitement, and I'm happy to explore it that way. And I think all actors would say the same thing, there's technically no difference, but of course, release is a difference, and I want to enjoy this also. Let's see what the people...
Consumption of audiovisual entertainment or audiovisual medium, audiovisual content has changed over the past few years, and we are traditionally used to films releasing in theaters, and it is so with the arrival and the enormous popularity of platforms like Netflix, they create their own property, they create their own originals, right, which are meant to premiere only on the platform, like Bulbul, for instance. So just the way the way of consumption has changed, also the way of feedback giving has also changed, because as Pauli was mentioning, for a film releasing in a theater, it would be those exasperated, overwhelmed faces coming out of a theater, which is always very nice. It still feels very nice. But whereas for OTT platforms, the feedback starts coming in the form of more virtually, like in the form of messages, in the form of Facebook messages, in the form of Twitter messages, Twitter gratifications, in the form of just random messages from followers and admirers, and just people that you know, that you don't know, doesn't really matter. So it's a different high. The two things have a different high, but when you the two different modalities have two different kinds of high. But as an artist, when you're doing your job, it's really not different. It's the same, really.
Okay, on that note, I will take a leave. Thank you for such an interesting interview. This is very fun, and good luck for the film.
Thank you, Ananya.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Take care. Bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.